Your high school sports is excited to be entering its third season and now has expanded to the Tri-Cities area. Your high school sports is brought to you by these great sponsors.
To the East Tennessee Sports Report. Hi, I'm your host, Ralph Moran. I'm joined by somewhat of my special, or my same crew tonight. In place of Scott Gallion, I've got El Presidente, Roddy Woods. The judge is back with us, Chris Blevins, and of course the philosopher, Chris Reddick, is to my left. Today we've got a special wrap-up show for you of high school football. The state championship games are concluded. We've got two championship winners from East Tennessee. We're going to talk about that. A couple other East Tennessee teams, or three of them, were defeated. But before we go any further, I want to thank our sponsors. It's been a great year doing the East Tennessee Sports Report, and we would not have been able to do it without our fine sponsors. Crescent Center Drugs of Morristown, Morristown Ford in Morristown, Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice with 7 locations throughout East Tennessee, Gateway Ford of Greenville, and of course Mullins Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Elizabethton. And finally, Gondolier Restaurant. We're here at Gondolier Restaurant again. We've been here many times this fall. Voted the #1 Italian restaurant in Sevier County. Great food, great drink, great hospitality. And again, we would not be able to have done this show without the fine people here at the Gondolier Restaurant. All right, guys, state championship week is in the books. Let's get right out of the gate talking about the 6A game. Everybody thought Maryville was going to win. I don't think it was real surprising that they got beat, and what I mean by that is it was a state championship game. Right. I mean, and they're not playing chopped liver,
no,
right? So I mean, that's not a surprise. But I guess it was shocking, maybe a little bit. Roddy, you said that talking to the Oakland coach a couple weeks ago, he said Maryville had to beat themselves. That's kind of what they did. I don't want to take anything away from Ravenwood, but they threw interceptions in the red zone, an interception late when they were trying to get it back to within 1 score. Ravenwood did a good job of playing solid run defense. They did not let Maryville break off any long runs. They did a good job of playing pass coverage, and of course that little number 23 for Ravenwood pretty much ran wild. So. Your thoughts on the game? I'll start over here, philosopher.
You just said it, little number 23 ran wild. Very talented kid. I think that was one of the causes for the defeat. But like you guys have just mentioned, and I've talked about this too when it comes to Maryville. You want to beat Maryville? Maryville has to first beat themselves. But when they beat themselves, because this is how good of a team they are, you have to make sure you capitalize on it. Right. And that's exactly what Ravenwood did. They knew how to capitalize on the mistakes that Maryville had, because to be honest, guys, Maryville's such a good team and such a sound team and a disciplined team, minus all the mistakes they still had. I still thought they would pull something out at the very end on that 4th down play. So congratulations to Ravenwood. I mean, it was a great game, one of the better games. You'll find out when we talk about these other ones, but this was probably one of the better games to watch. So all I got to say is Maryville's going to be loaded again next year, and watch out for them for if it may be another rematch.
Right. I think Maryville overall had a great season, like they always do, so you can't fault them for that. But Ravenwood showed up to play and did what you said, Chris, capitalized on the mistakes that Maryville made. Maryville beat themselves, so we have to give credit to Ravenwood. Obviously, having a great game plan, had a great defense, and I was talking to him before the show. My buddy was texting me saying, "Oh my gosh, you see what's going on?" And it's just hard to believe that could happen to Maryville, but at the same time, like you said, they're not playing just anybody. Ravenwood's a good football team,
they are.
And they came to play, and they capitalized on Maryville's mistakes and made sure they put points on the board. And then Maryville obviously made some bad interception in the red zone and things like that. So congratulations to Ravenwood. I think it just really was Maryville beating themselves and Ravenwood capitalizing, just like Chris said, on every time Maryville made a mistake.
Well, one thing I saw in that game was 36 seniors from Ravenwood.
Right, there you go. There's another good stat, yes.
36 seniors knew they should have won last year. When you're up 28-0, you're supposed to put the nail in the coffin and go on home with the gold ball. But you didn't. You let Maryville come back and beat you last year, so that stuck in their craw all year long. It was 36 seniors, like I said, and Maryville was young. You know, when you're a sophomore, you're going to make sophomore mistakes. Your quarterback's young, but I give my hats off to Ravenwood. They played a great game, like you said, Ralph, before. I talked to the Oakland coach, and he said, Maryville, you have to make them do two things. You have to make them punt, and you got to get them off the field, and then you've got to make them make mistakes, and you got to capitalize on it. And Chris, you said when you get them down, you can't let them wiggle around. You can't let them get back up because they will come back and beat you. That's just Maryville. That's George Quarles football.
Yeah, and sometimes, too, when Maryville makes mistakes this season, you never really noticed it because nobody capitalized. Nobody had anything to come back with it.
Well,
that's what happened.
They made mistakes against Blackman. They made mistakes against Oakland. Those teams couldn't capitalize on them. I think the key to remember about Maryville is not so surprising that they lost this game. You know, I mean, they lost the state championship 3 years ago. The difference is the landscape in Tennessee high school football is full of teams that win a state championship and then go 2-7 the next year, or win 1 or 2 and then go 1-9. Maryville is a program. I mean, they're going to be there every single year. Yeah, they're going to lose, just like every other team's going to lose. But the thing is, they're always going to be there. All right, they'll be back next year, just like you said. More than likely, they'll be in the state championship game again next year.
To win.
It just depends on who they're going to play. So hopefully, it'll be Ravenwood, and then we can have the rubber match. Right?
That'd be great.
That's what it needs to happen.
All right. Well, make sure you stay with us. When we come back, we're going to talk Class 5A, Sevier County, right here in our backyard. Was in that football game. We'll talk about that when we come back on the East Tennessee Sports Report.
Let the Charlie Long Agency protect the place you call home. Serving the Carter County area with 25 years of excellent customer service. Call for the protection you need and the service you want. The Charlie Long Agency, representing Allstate. Give us a call.
I never thought I'd get into the car business or work with my dad, but some things you just shouldn't pass up, like our Carefree car deal with upfront pricing below the factory invoice and our lifetime powertrain warranty. You've just got to get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
From 1989, Tomo has been one of the first sushi restaurants in Knoxville.
I love it. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Knoxville.
We have carried on with an age-old tradition atmosphere and menu, including the Japanese bento box.
Food is outstanding.
Tomo is open for lunch and dinner and extra late for all you late-night sushi lovers, Friday and Saturday nights.
I love the sushi. It's always really fresh.
Tomo even offers half-price sushi on Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. Tomo, neighborhood price and friendly service on West Hill Crossing Plaza.
The Jeep Celebration event is going on now at Mullins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elizabethton.
Drive a new 2015 Jeep Patriot with air conditioning, stock number 893 for only $13,900. 2015 Jeep Wrangler with aluminum wheels, stock number 793 for only $24,500. Remember, you can buy a Mullins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with no money down, no payments till 2016, 0% APR for up to 72 months on select models, and always top dollar for your trade. Before you buy, give Mullins a try.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm your host, Ralph Miranda, joined by Roddy Woods to my farthest right, the judge, Chris Blevins to my right, and the philosopher, Chris Reddick, to my left. All right, guys, Class 5A, Sevier County. They ran into a pretty good football team, Independence, and really could not get anything going. I mean, we knew, I had said this a couple times, that Sevier County's defense was a little bit suspect, but they couldn't do anything against Independence.
No, they couldn't. And that's what we talked to Coach Lingenfeld early today, and he said that, they got off to a bad start first quarter, and they had a bad third quarter. But the thing about it is the team that they played was number 1 in the state, number 26 in the nation, and what he said to me was George Quarles, Maryville's head coach, told him Monday at the press conference that they were playing the best team down there. Independence did everything they needed to do. And Chris said something to me earlier today. They matched up well, and I don't think Sevier County had seen Sevier County play. And that's what it was. That was another Sevier County team that had speed. They played good defense. And I don't think they could never get protect Deuce enough to make anything happen. I think that interception right there, when they could have went up, when the score was 21-7, and he threw an interception right there, if they could have scored there, it would have been a different ball game. But, you got to take your hats off to Sevier County. 15 games this year. Yeah. They lost 3 games. Mm-hmm. How many teams down there brought a silver ball home?
Right. Exactly.
None of them teams. Morristown West didn't bring one home. Oak Ridge didn't bring one home. What do you got to say? I think your hat's off. Next year, we'll see what happens.
Right, and I think Independence, man, I don't know if you saw their quarterback, but we watched Deuce all year, but the Independence quarterback was good.
Oh, yes.
Was very good. He was slinging all over the field. I can't remember his exact stats, but I know this for the course of the season, he had some ridiculous stats.
Yes, he was good.
And I think Independence was just a little bit better than Sevier County. Sevier County probably had a little bit, probably gassed a little bit here late in the season, had a lot of big matchups. So, but congratulations to Sevier County. Independence obviously had a great game as well, but I think that quarterback, they just weren't prepared for how good he was. Even with Deuce maybe doing the mock or whatever, but Independence was good.
You got it. Independence was a doggone good football team. Probably the best team I saw over the weekend. Sevier County, you did your best. I knew this was going to be this type of game. I just thought actually it was going to be more of the back and forth type game. Like a little sandlot. They score, you score, they score, who scores last. Sevier County tried to play that game, but once again, you cannot make mistakes on a good team. And like you said, right, they had a chance there, third quarter, to make it interesting and simply couldn't do it. And, that's what happens when you play a good team. You got to be ready. And I think they had that problem of, hey, we're now mirroring a team that's just like us. We've never had to do this before. These athletes are just as good or maybe even better. What do we do now? So that's what happens.
Yep.
Before we leave this segment, I want to touch real quickly on the Class, I guess it was the Class 3A game. The Class 2A game, Marion County and Tresvant. That was really the best game of the weekend. Outside of the Thursday night game in the Division II, the private schools, Tresvant 40-35. Tresvant's running back, 350 yards rushing.
Good
just
game.
Unbelievable. Wow. They gave him the ball left and right, and that kid ran for 350 yards.
Ball wasn't heavy, was it?
Well, the ball wasn't heavy. That's right. The ball's not heavy at all. But that was the best game of the weekend, even though it didn't involve a school from our region. Right. I still thought it was a very solid football game. 2 programs that come from areas that are known for their high school football, and hats off to Tresvant coming back from their suspension from a few years back when they had some of those problems against Greenville in the Class 4A game. Yes. But hats off to them for picking that back up. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Class 3A and Class 4A, and then a little bit about Class 1A as we wrap it up here on the East Tennessee Sports Report from the Gondolier Restaurant in Sevierville, Tennessee. We'll be right back.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
The revolutionary safety of the Michelin Premier family of tires is now available for more cars, trucks, minivans, and SUVs. So whatever you drive, you can take on wet or slippery roads with confidence mile after mile. Double D Tire can help you take changing weather in stride and save. Double D Tire has been family-owned and operated since 1981. Owners Tommy and Flint Carter specialize in tires, alignments, brakes, suspension repairing, and custom wheels. Double D Tire would like to thank all their customers and look forward to serving you in the future.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm your host, Ralph Miranda. We're at the Gondolier Restaurant in Sevierville, Tennessee, voted the #1 Italian restaurant in Sevier County by the people around here, and it is a great restaurant. You need to come out here and eat some good, solid Italian food. I want to thank our sponsors that have made this possible all fall long: Crescent Center Drugs of Morristown, Morristown Ford, Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice, 7 locations throughout East Tennessee, Gateway Ford of Greenville, Mullins Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram of Elizabethton, another one of our fine sponsors. All right, guys, Class 4A, Knox-Catholic and Pearl Cone. Interesting game. Pearl Cone jumps out to the 8-0 lead, and then after that, bang, Knox-Catholic just goes off, and it's over before you can kind of get the buses warmed up and headed back to Knox County.
I talked to Coach Matthews today, and he let me talk a little bit more than I anticipated, but like you just said, Ralph, they go 91 yards, Pearl Cone does, and you kick off to Mr. Football,
right,
and he takes his 82 yards. Okay, it's 8-7, then it's 14-8, then it's 21-8, then it's 28-8. Wow. What do?
Right.
It was all Catholic. They took, what Coach Matthew said to me is when they was 2-4, he went to practice that day, on that Monday when they were 2-4, and he said, hey, let's go win state, guys. And I'm like, okay. He says, I built it into her head. I knew we could. He said we were getting healthy at the right time. We beat the monster. We got that off our back. He said then we went to Greenville, beat Marshall County. You know, going into state, they were not the favorite.
Right, right.
But, you know, when you got Mr. Football, and he said today that Adam got an offer today. Remember he said he got an offer to Clemson today. And he's a junior. So, you know, hats off to the Catholic. You know, next year's when they're going to be.
Right.
You watch out.
Yeah.
You got Mr. Football coming back. You got another junior over there at wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, I think he's a sophomore.
So, you know, hey.
But that's,
look out,
but that's how you'll find out about Catholic's program and their coaches.
Yes.
When the expectations are high, can you deliver them?
Yes.
I mean, when you sneak up on teams, it's a lot easier.
Yes.
And really, Pearl Cone was in the same boat. They were 6-4 during the regular season, so they made a great run as well to get to that point in the season. So two teams that nobody expected to be in the championship game in Class 4A.
If you can start out 2-4 and then talk your team into winning the state, I think you could probably
pretty good.
I think you're doing something pretty good.
I think you're doing.
You can come back.
But real quick though, if you guys can remember the first of the season, the first game, and I saw this team, Knox-Catholic, I knew they were something special. And
you didn't know that. Come on.
You're gonna see. I told them about the highlights. Just like I could make all of them the top 10 if I wanted to. This team has some athletes that it was a joy to watch. I enjoyed them. So the bad thing about this though is I missed all the scoring. When I got home, it was the beginning of the third quarter. I saw one other touchdown, but I was like, what?
It's 28-8.
So, you know, hats off to Knox-Catholic. Great program.
Great season. That's
Excited
awesome.
to see him again next year.
Let's go ahead and talk about Class 1A while we're here. For no other reason that Greenback is from our area. Greenback made it to the state championship game. Got beat pretty handily by Nashville Christian. In fact, I think it was 35-0 at one time before Greenback was able to kind of put some points on the board. And Nashville Christian obviously put in some of their backups. But a great year. In fact, the Greenback people were so excited. Of course, they had the early game on Friday. They played at 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock our time. They closed the schools in Greenback.
Wow,
I mean,
awesome.
so everybody just got on the bus and went on to Cookville. But that's great. That's school pride. That's awesome. Yeah. And we got to give some kudos to Greenback for getting to the state championship game.
Well, we talked about them last week. You know, they went into the season with a new coach. They had went through spring practice, and we interviewed the coach at Media Day.
Right.
And then
he wasn't there.
Then he was gone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He's gone.
He just vanished. I mean, we probably said something wrong to him.
Something happened, but
maybe the bright light scared him.
But because that was his first year coach.
Right.
And he said he was excited at Media Days, and he told us his program about the program, and then boom, he's gone.
Yeah.
But Greenback has a good football program. They're one of those teams we talked about, Ralph. They're always one of the teams to beat in Class 1A. Oh, yeah. They're always physical. They're a good football team.
Yeah, they're a solid football team.
I think Nashville Christian probably just had a lot better competition throughout the year, though, too. Some of those. I mean, Greenback's a good team, but you come to these big teams in Middle Tennessee and things like that, you just get up against this competition. But Greenback had a great season, and we should give them all the credit in the world. And Nashville Christian obviously just was a better team that day.
I didn't get to see this game. Is this the game with the Nashville Christian had the real good running back?
Yeah, he's committed to UT.
So what damage did he do? What was
it was him.
It was 35-0 early on.
35 him?
Yes.
All right, congratulations to Greenback. When we come back, we're going to talk about Class 3A, the rubber match, CPA and Alcoa, right here on the East Tennessee Sports Report. We'll be right back.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Let the Charlie Long Agency protect the place you call home. Serving the Carter County area with 25 years of excellent customer service. Call for the protection you need and the service you want. The Charlie Long Agency, representing Allstate. Give us a call.
I never thought I'd get into the car business or work with my dad, but some things you just shouldn't pass up, like our carefree car deal with upfront pricing below the factory invoice and our lifetime powertrain warranty. You've just got to get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
From 1989, Tomo has been one of the first sushi restaurants in Knoxville.
I love it. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Knoxville.
We have carried on with an age-old tradition atmosphere and menu, including the Japanese bento box.
Food is outstanding.
Tomo is open for lunch and dinner and extra late for all you late-night sushi lovers, Friday and Saturday nights.
I love the sushi. It's always really fresh.
Tomo even offers half-price sushi on Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. Tomo, neighborhood price and friendly service on West Hill Crossing Plaza.
The Jeep Celebration event is going on now at Mullins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elizabethton.
Drive a new 2015 Jeep Patriot with air conditioning, stock number 893 for only $13,900. 2015 Jeep Wrangler with aluminum wheels, stock number 793 for only $24,500. Remember, you can buy a Mullins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with no money down, no payments till 2016, 0% APR for up to 72 months on select models, and always top dollar for your trade. Before you buy, give Mullins a try.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm your host, Ralph Miranda, joined tonight by Roddy Woods, El Presidente, the judge, Chris Blevins, the philosopher, Chris Reddick. All right. Guys, last game to talk about, Class 3A, CPA, and Alcoa, the rubber match 2 years ago. Alcoa beat CPA.
Yep.
Last year, CPA shut out Alcoa 7-0. This year, it was a close game for a while. It was real close for a while.
It was.
And then in the second half, Alcoa just they scored that first touchdown to make it 10-0. And then after that, their defense was just phenomenal.
Their defense is awesome. That's all you can say. You know, it's when you stop a team like CPA, and I know Rankin going into the game knew what CPA was going to do. Alcoa's defense all year long has just kept them in the game, just pushed people around when they wanted to. When they needed 3 and out, it was 3 and out. And that's what they did to CPA.
Well, I think Alcoa, too, is one of those teams that's always there every year. Expectations are always high. Oh, yeah. You're expecting to be here. Yes. And like you said, Maryville got beat. Alcoa could have got beat, too, but they're always there. And I think the expectation this season was this their special season. To blow out, 20-0, that's what we probably all expected. It's probably one of the games we thought was going to happen, But still, that's the game. Congratulations to Alcoa. So.
Well, and Coach Rankin said this on the air, but they basically shut out the last 3 teams they played. They shut out CAK in the quarterfinals. Right. They shut out Notre Dame in the semifinals.
Yes,
Notre Dame got a safety, which is not an offensive score, and they shut out CPA. That's 3 shutouts in the 3 biggest games of the year from a level standpoint. So really, just phenomenal performance by Alcoa.
The defensive line, speaking of them, I was amazed to just watch how this defense just was rushing in. It was almost like water at certain points. And then even if they were getting by the line, I appreciated how they were their pursuit drills.
Yeah.
How they just naturally could just get to that ball quick. So, just nasty to watch. I wouldn't want to be on the field running that.
What do you say? Defense wins championships. Congratulations.
Defense. That's where when
Congratulations.
Defense wins championship. There's like I said one time on the show, there's an old saying: if you score, you might win. Right. If they never score, you can't lose. So if you got a defense that can shut out opponents, you're not going to lose. That's for sure. You may win 2-0, but you're not going to lose. Hey, one thing before we close out this segment, I want to talk about. Congratulations to all the teams that got to the state championship game. I don't know about you guys playing high school football, but we never got to the playoffs in high school football. All right, and it's not easy to get there, let alone get to the state championship game.
Yes.
So while it's a little bit sad to lose the state championship game, hey, to get there is a tremendous accomplishment.
Yes,
so congratulations to all 12 teams that made it to the state championships this year. A great effort on their part. When we come back, we'll wrap it up on the East Tennessee Sports Report. We'll be right back.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
The revolutionary safety of the Michelin Premier family of tires is now available for more cars, trucks, minivans, and SUVs. So whatever you drive, you can take on wet or slippery roads with confidence mile after mile. Double D Tire can help you take changing weather in stride and save. Double D Tire has been family-owned and operated since 1981. Owners Tommy and Flint Carter specialize in tires, alignments, brakes, suspension repairing, and custom wheels. Double D Tire would like to thank all their customers and look forward to serving you in the future.
The Chevrolet Summer Bonus Tag event is going on now at Buckman Bernard Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac here in Greenville. I mean, the tags are everywhere. They're flying off the shelves. Cars are going like crazy. Tags with discounts, with savings. I mean, the discounts have never been this huge. The rebates have never been this big, and the APR has never been this low. You need to make the short trip to Buckman Bernard Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac right here in Greenville, because if you don't hurry up, number one, it may be gone, and number two, we always save you money.
Let the Charlie Long Agency protect the place you call home. Serving the Carter County area with 25 years of excellent customer service. Call for the protection you need and the service you want. The Charlie Long Agency, representing Allstate. Give us a call.
I never thought I'd get into the car business or work with my dad, but some things you just shouldn't pass up, like our carefree car deal with upfront pricing below the factory invoice and our lifetime powertrain warranty. You've just got to get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm your host, Ralph Miranda. Roddy Woods, Chris Blevins, Chris Reddick on our final show of the fall.
Yes.
All right, what do you got for us?
I'm Santa.
Oh, we got Santa Claus here with us.
He's coming. This is Chris Reddick. Oh,
Chris Blevins.
Thank you, Roddy.
Congratulations from Santa Claus.
Appreciate it.
So there is a Santa.
You know there's a Santa. I have to look at the cards, guy. Oh, that's Scott. Scott's not here. I'm gonna sit his
Santa needs his glasses.
Scott's right there. Yeah, he does, don't he?
To quote Arnold Schwarzenegger from Jingle All the Way, I don't think you're the real Santa Claus. Thank you, Santa.
All right.
He's not the real Santa.
You're not the real Santa Claus.
I think this is an opportunity for promoting
Nick, our
Pretty nice. I like that. That's great.
I'll hand that
Yeah,
to you.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, then this is Chris,
Thank you.
the philosopher. The philosopher. A Santa, see there?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate that.
I'll be Scott.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Santa.
Is this a prelude to something? Are you trying to tell us
Oh,
something?
check that out. That's something new we're giving out.
Your high school sports, are you trying to tell us something?
I'm trying to tell you something.
Oh, we may find something out real soon.
You might find something out.
All right, well, we're running up against our clock, so I'm going to close it out for the night. East Tennessee Sports Report for Roddy Woods, for Chris Blevins, Chris Reddick. I'm Ralph Miranda, for Scott Gallion, who's not here tonight, for all our Crescent Center Drugs, Morristown Ford, Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice, Gateway Ford, Mullins Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. Thank you to all our sponsors. The Gondolier Restaurant, thank you.
Bart Lyons.
Bart Lyons as well. It's been a great fall, and we look forward to seeing you come 2016.
Thank you, Santa.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Appreciate it.
All right, let's eat.
Your high school sports is excited to be entering its third season and now has expanded to the Tri-Cities area. Your high school sports is brought to you by these great sponsors.